Taissa, you play the heroes of the story. They're two strong and brave characters, complex too, not without their own past. So who are Father Burke and Sister Irene, and why do you believe they were chosen by the Church to unravel this horrific mystery?
Ladies first.
Sister Irene is a young woman on the path to becoming a nun. She had a bit of a difficult and isolating childhood due to these series of visions she would have, which these visions led her to a life in the church. And Sister Irene, she hasn't taken her final vows yet, even though she's full of faith and she's devout to her Lord. She also has that tiny bit of questioning deep down inside her. The church has always told her, oh, these visions are a gift from God. But I think part of Sister Irene would like that confirmed. How do you know these visions aren't coming from something much more sinister and demonic? So when Sister Irene is chosen to go on this mission with Father Burke, she doesn't know that she's being chosen because of her vision. She doesn't know that there's a specific reason why she's the one selected to accompany Father Burke on this mission. And it's only halfway through her mission, when she's there dealing with demonic forces, that she realized she's chosen because of her past. And Sister Irene, I think, is a bit wary of her future, wondering if she's on the right path and if the life of a nun is specifically meant for her. And she finds those answers during this mission.
Father Burke is the best exorcist the Vatican knows. So he is ready to fight whenever it's time to go out and accomplish a mission. However, Father Burke had a terrible experience in one of those exorcisms and has asked the Vatican not to call him again, to do it again, to practice another exorcism. But being the best and being a soldier, you have to obey, and you have to get up your bed, no matter how many nightmares you have and how many demons you're fighting and how many contradictions you live with. You have to get up, get out there, and fight.
How do you prepare these roles? And Demain, starting with you, did the fact that you already played a priest in the past help you?
Absolutely, yeah. I think, the first thing I do is find all the information I need on the paper. And everything you need to prepare for this role was there in the script that Gary wrote. It's great. It's solid, and it has great characters. But also you have to enter a full period of research. And in doing so, of course, I brought back what I already knew about becoming a priest and being a priest from my previous work. And also what I try to do as soon as possible is connect the links that makes Father Burke and I similar in our own virtues and our own fears and the same contradictions that I also experience sometimes. And of course, we have the same passion for life and our work. And we will do whatever is necessary to accomplish that.
Yes, could you repeat the question?
Yes, what did you do to prepare?
Yes. The thing is, when you're playing such a specific character like a nun or a priest, you want to provide authenticity. You want to do an honest job, because these are real people and people who everyone has images and ideas of who they are and what they're like. And I really want to make sure that you do it right and you do it authentically. So for me, I spent lots of time researching online, and I watched the Nun story with Audrey Hepburn to try and really understand what it is on a day-by-day basis, what a woman of faith goes through and what that entails. And some of the things I learned really go to the physicality of a nun and how you hold yourself, how you talk, and making sure that you're correcting all of your flaws on a constant basis. And I mean, that's something that's emotionally exhausting to point out your imperfections and try to perfect them every single day. So that constant thought process I really wanted to incorporate into Sister Irene.
Speaking of making it real, the nun was shot in Romania and even in Transylvania.
Yes.
How was that experience, and what was the energy like on set?
Oh, I mean, it's a phenomenal thing to be able to film on location where the movie's actually set. The movie's set in 1952 in Romania, and being able to be there in this beautiful country that has such a history, has such a soul, has such a gothic, eerie energy, which is exactly what we needed for the backdrop of our film. You know, we got lucky to be able to film there, and you know, half the hard work's done is when you're filming in these old castles that have been there for years and years and years. You know, it doesn't require much, especially from the actors. You don't have to conjure up anything. It's all there. You just have to exist and be and react.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of the things that excited me when I got the offer, and I just couldn't wait, because they formed the best team possible in every department. And the production design in this film is just fabulous. It's fantastic. Of course, yes, you have the real scenarios, the real locations, but every single detail, you know, that they reproduced the 50s so nicely, and the wardrobe design and all that. Every detail, every element that was given to us was key to, you know, be able to portray this.
Then your characters actually go through quite a lot. How physically demanding was the shoot?
You know, it's surprising because, you know, you read the script and you're like, oh, okay, this is going to be an emotional day. That's going to be difficult to shoot. And you know it's coming, but once you start filming, you're in the moment, you know what I mean? You're in the scene that you're currently in. And so when we started getting to some of those physical scenes, like filming in this water tank and having to have harnesses and wires and wetsuits, and I had on like 6 layers, it felt like I could barely move. And then, you know, dealing with all that, and then you still have to be the character, you still have to be present in the moment and emotionally connected. So I feel like those are some of the, you know, the more difficult days when you have to, you know, balance that, all those moving pieces.
And how did Corin Hardy help with all those moving pieces and making sure the movie had the right tone?
Well, he's a very passionate artist. And he was prepared way before we moved to Romania. He had everything ironed and ready to go. You know, he had every corner covered. And by doing so, you know, he covered our backs very nicely, and he always took care of us, not only in guiding us through the story, but also in whatever we needed as actors to get to that point, to get from point A to point B powerfully and safely at the same time.
Yeah, one thing, you know, I want to say about Corin as a director, he's so giving, and not just to the actors, to every member of his crew, and making sure that everybody feels confident and is happy with the work that they're doing. And you know, he knows what he wants, and he's confident, and he's assured, and he's also open to hearing other people's opinions. And if it doesn't work, then he makes the best decision for the movie. But I really love someone who's so open to really including the ideas and of the people that he's purposely handpicked and selected to be with him, so that they can make the best movie possible. And that's why it works and flows so easily.
Speaking of listening to other people, your sister Vera plays another key character in the whole Conjuring universe. Did she give you any advice? Yes,
you know, I think the biggest piece of advice she gave was about work and you know, filming these sort of heavy, you know, dark subject matter. You know, movies, you know, she had to do so much research into demonology and demonologists and exorcisms, and luckily my research was a bit more pure and holy, you know, in regards to looking at, you know, the life of a nun. But, you know, the same thing I mean, the very similar thing between the movies is that, you know, we're dealing with these forces, these spirits, the supernatural. And she said, my advice to you is leave that at work. Don't bring that home. You don't want that. You don't want that swirling around in your mind when you're trying to sleep. Leave it there, and it'll be the best thing for you. And she was absolutely right.
We definitely don't want the demon nun swirling around, and especially when you have a real actor playing it. I mean, Bonnie is amazing as this. I'm sure she must have given you some scared, you know, before and after the director yelled cut.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When she was in character, I personally couldn't look at her. You know, there was this scene where I was praying alone, and Corin told me, okay, and then you feel something, and you kind of sort of try to turn back, and you know there's a presence there. And then I knew Bunny was there, dressed as the demonic nun. And just to know that she was there, that alone made the whole thing very easy for me to portray. But off camera, and having breakfast and lunch and dinner together, she was a lovely, she is a lovely lady, a beautiful lady, and very sweet.
Yeah. The best part is when you're just conversing with Bonnie on set, and she's a sweetheart, but she's in her full, demon Valak, hair, makeup, wardrobe. And it's so funny just to be talking with her. And her favorite pastime, by the way, was trying to terrify me on set. Because I don't like being scared. I'm a very jumpy person. So she could just from across the room, she could just stop and give me a look with her eyes and a little grin, a little smile, and I'd immediately get shivers and chills because she's just so captivating.
Yeah.
Hey horror fans, stay with me as I've got some facts from horror movies. Now, in order to make Samara's walk as creepy as possible in The Ring, they filmed her walking backwards and then reversed the shot. Now, the skeletons in Poltergeist are not props. They are real human skeletons. And the real-life Lorraine Warren makes a cameo in The Conjuring as an audience member while the character Lorraine Warren is speaking. What's your favourite horror movie? Let me know in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel and check the notification bell to keep up to date on all the latest releases.